So I have a lot to say about this figure. This was an impulse buy. I bought this from Gundam. It is the first item that I have ordered and received. It was available when I ordered it. Um, it arrived in 15 days, I think. So um, puts me a little more faith in Gundam, although I wasn't particularly concerned about it. The reason I bought it was because Gundam had it for considerably less than Big Bad Toy Store, where it's $510, and because it was 15% off. The blue one was 15% off, not the rest of them. It's now currently sold out. On Big Bad Toy Store, it's still on pre-order. So there are three different versions of this Astro Boy. In case you can't tell who this is Astro Boy. And there is a black, a pink, and a blue one. And the blue one was the one that was 15% off. So I am a fan of Astro Boy. Dark Horse came out with the series. And so there is volume 1. And here is volume 23, which is still unopened. I thought I had gaps, and I thought I gave up, but apparently I'm wrong. I have the full series, volume 1 through 23. So I've enjoyed the series. I'm not a rabid Astro Boy fan. I didn't really watch the anime. I've watched some episodes, but not really. So I'm not going to pretend to be some big Astro Boy fan, but I think it is a great and a great manga, and still relevant to this day. So let's go through this figure, which is, I paid over $400 for this. First of all, it has absolutely no articulation, none. And so it feels like there could be, but there isn't. Not in the ankles, not in the knees, not anywhere, except, well, I guess you could say articulation in the wrist, because it will swivel. There are alternate hands, but I am not going to demonstrate them. This was limited to 500 pieces. So this is by Blitzway, just so you know. And I've had a lot of success with Blitzway, and it's one of the reasons I got it, because I enjoy Blitzway. So here is my card that I got. It's pretty neat, actually. So I have number 216 out of 500. This is Space Astro Boy Radiant Blue. So what do I think of this $400 statue? Because that's what it is. It's a statue. The exterior is metal. It doesn't even say what kind of metal it is. It just says plastic and metal. Now, all these pieces are removable. So this is metal. Jeez. Oops. So it would place on here. Let me start with saying I love magnets. It doesn't use magnets. It uses clip-on, and it is a pain in the butt. The reason I didn't remove this leg here is just because, and this thigh piece, it's such a pain. It is such a pain. So they give you this plastic device so you don't scratch it. I usually use my fingernails, but even with that, this did make it easier. I will say that. It did make it easier, but it was still a pain in the butt to get them off, which is why I quit removing them. And when I display it, I'm going to put the pieces back on. So right here we have a half piece. There is the full piece. We have the open chest. You can have the closed chest. And here you could do half chest. So there's different pieces. There's another face piece that I am not showing, but here is the full face piece. This piece, I believe, is metal. This piece is plastic. Everything in here is plastic. Nothing is real. None of the springs, none of the gears, nothing. It's just a plastic shell. Okay, so not amazing. I don't know what the cost would have been if they'd actually made it more realistic in here, but it's a visual impression, but it's not real. This door does not close. So it actually, it gives the impression like it's a door, but it just pulls off. There's no hinge on it. So it is a bit of a, it's a little fakery. It uses light up features. Let's see. It uses 3 LR41. There's a screw right there. Open it up. Put 3 LR41s, which wasn't that hard actually. By the way, because it has no articulation, with robots or with figures with articulation, I often have to kind of, move the knees, move the thighs, move the ankles so I get the best balance. You can't do that with this one. So it pegs into the stand. So I would say it's highly advisable to use the stand. The writing back here is, let's see, the writing is all in Japanese. So it probably says Astro Boy, but clearly this was not made for a Western consumer. Here's the light up features. Now, if you can see so the eye is lit up, the heart is kind of flashing, but I don't know if that's on purpose. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a heartbeat, because it's also kind of flashing down here in the thigh a little bit. You can see how it's pegged into the stand, and the stand comes up with it. So I don't know if it's just like a loose connection in here, or if it's trying to actually simulate a heartbeat, then it's kind of weak. It's not that noticeable that as a heartbeat. So yeah, there's a lot of things about this figure, and this half piece, you can show the light up features using that. I don't know. I'll consider whether I want to display this with or without, with the interior showing. The problem with this figure, and I kind of saw this coming when I got it, which is that once all the pieces are on, it looks more like a silhouette of Astro Boy. In fact, if somebody were, say, who knew of Astro Boy but was not that knowledgeable of the character, if somebody saw this figure, particularly once it had all the pieces on, they might not recognize even who it is, because it's just kind of a blue silhouette of Astro Boy. Maybe they'll think it's Big Boy or something like that, because it's kind of hard to tell. If I had my way, if I had a choice between this figure and one with the regular colors of Astro Boy, I would have gone with the regular colors, because it is kind of hard to tell. And I'm not even going to attempt to put the pieces on, because they are really a challenge to put them on. Let me try put one piece on. Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't that bad actually. Okay, but I'm telling you, in the past, I had some real issues. Even putting this piece in. This piece is plastic, and I was a little worried because it's kind of wobbly, and sticking it in there, I was kind of deforming the piece a little bit. I was trying to be careful, but you kind of slide a piece in there, and yeah, I don't know that I'd go so far as to say I regret this purchase, but it comes with some issues. And for $400, I would have really preferred magnets. And I don't know, in the interior here, I'm kind of wish there would been more authenticity. I'm not saying it should be metal, because that much metal would probably raise it to like $700-800 or something like that. But I was not blown away by this figure, I'll say that. I think it would have been neat if the arms maybe would have been on ratchet joints and you could move it up or you could move it out. I really wanted to. One of the problems with removing the thigh piece is that you're trying to maneuver around this hand. which I could pull the hand off technically. Actually, I didn't do it, but you know, if the head could swivel, I think that would have been cool. You know, maybe the knees don't bend, but I would have been. It would have been cool if the arms and the neck could have moved, but they don't. So this definitely is a statue, not a figure. So, you know, that's my view on it. I have one of apparently only 500 on the planet, so that's kind of cool. But I would love to hear if anyone else has this figure, and if you do, what do you think of it? So that's Astro Boy. The let's see, what did I do with my card? Oh, here it is. It is Astro Boy Radiant Blue, and I have number 216 by Blitzway.